What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I want to give everybody an update on what's going on down at the border. And then maybe talk about the poop stain walking around in Washington called the Democratic Party. Yes, that's what they are. They are literally a walking poop stain, just walking around. Matter of fact, they're like a boo-boo suit, just walking around, just everywhere, crop dusting the whole area with nothing but poop smell. That is how funky the Democratic Party is. I'm talking about where you throw up in your mouth every time you smell them. That's how funky the Democratic Party is. Because we got some new numbers, and the Border Patrol gave some numbers. He said Monday started with over 12,000 migrants in custody. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? Just 12,000 unwanted visitors showing up. I mean, that's like a small army. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we could probably, put up pretty good resistance with 12,000 men. I'm thinking we might go to war, maybe take a hill or two, overrun a bridge, a bunker, something like that with 12,000 men. That's all I'm saying. So that's a lot of people, 12,000 migrants in custody. And then as of today, that number reached 13,400. Now, that is a small army. And he was saying that a high amount for them to handle with the group of Border Patrol members that they have is only 4,000. That's a high amount. A crisis level amount is 6,000. So that means that they are like 7,400 over what is considered to be a crisis, but yet in the Democratic Party, that's not a crisis. Now, it is a shame that they're supposed to be a part of America. They're supposed to be saying, let's make the job of the men and women that are supposed to be protecting us, our border, our way of life, enforcing the law. Let's make their job a lot easier. Let's listen to them and say, wow, that looks like a serious problem. Maybe we should do something. Maybe we should put laws in place that discourage them to come in big numbers like that and just come right through the border. Because see, let me tell you something about human beings. They will only do what you allow them to do. They're no different than children. I mean, if you have a kid that you don't put any type of bedtime restrictions on them, do you think they're going to self-police? You think they're going to say, you know what, it's kind of late. I probably should go to bed. I got an early start in the morning, kindergarten. So I'm going to put down my little iPad or my little Game Boy, or I'm going to cut the TV off and take, go to sleep. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Mom, don't worry. Don't get up. Go ahead. Continue doing what you're doing. If you need me, you know where I'll be, in La La Land, right? You think a kid would do that? No. What would happen is if you don't put some type of enforcements or restrictions, they're going to say, well, heck, mom didn't make me go to bed last night. I'm going to see how much more I can stay up. How late can I stay up? I just worry about it, pay the consequences in the morning when the clock goes off. So same thing with society. If you don't enforce laws, if you show that you're not interested in correcting a problem, and that problem is enabling a whole bunch of people to take advantage of the system, do you think they're going to say, you know what, we're being a little inconsiderate by overwhelming the Border Patrol and coming in this amount of numbers because we know they don't have the manpower to deal with all of us. So let's just go ahead and be cool. Let's stay where we're at. We're going to stay where we're at. We're going to do the right thing. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to come. Okay. I mean, how simple can this get? And yet the Democrats, the walking poop stains, they're still saying that this is not a crisis. Now that should let you know, every single American out there, with these type of numbers and the professionals down at the border begging for help. You know what they're saying? They're saying broken arrow, like Mel Gibson, where he was in the Vietnam and they were being overwhelmed and he was like, broken arrow, broken arrow. That means we need help. We need some backup. We need reinforcements. We need some assistance from the base. And yet, if the Democratic Party was the generals that were responsible for the platoon out there that yelled broken arrow, they would be sitting around going, you hear something? I didn't hear nothing. Let them just go ahead and keep fighting. Let them hold it down. Maybe they might make it. Maybe they won't. Okay. Let the enemy just overrun them. And then later on, when we had a whole bunch of Japanese or a whole bunch of Vietnamese rather in our camp. We're going, well, what happened? How'd they all get here? We don't understand. Well, when the forces down on the front was trying to hold it down, and y'all could have sent reinforcements and backup, you didn't. You said, you know what, for all our selfish reasons, we're just not going to give any assistance. And then we're going to act as if it's not really a broken arrow situation. I mean, are you sure it's broken? I think you're making that up. Yeah, I think what you're doing is you're creating a false broken arrow. Yeah, but yet you're down there seeing all your men getting killed, overran, lack of resources. And yet you got some idiots back at the home base talking about, well, I don't think it's that way. You're going to have to give me more evidence, okay? Yeah, actually getting mad at you. You know what, you're anti-Vietnam, anti-Vietnamese. That's what you are. You're a racist because they only want to just overrun us because they want a better life. Walking poop stains. So now you got I think they said as of yesterday, 4,100 migrants from yesterday. They was in their care. All they're doing down there is babysitting, and most of them they got to just release. They can't even keep them. They said 60% of those people are families. So they done got hip to the game now. Bring your family, whether they're your real kids or not, doesn't matter, and just get in. And because they're so overwhelmed, they don't have no resources, no nothing. We're going to have to just drop them off on the curb, put them on a bus somewhere. They said 40% of these people are children, and many of them are sick and need quarantined. But yet our dumb behind Democrats, the poop stain walking, boo-boo suit wearing Democrats are up there going, we don't want to change the law because this racism and this segregation and parents going to be ripped from their... You have to put things in place to discourage this type of behavior. People will only do what you allow them to do. You exploit the system if the system is broke. Why is it that Russia don't have any walls up to keep people from crossing the Russian border? Not Vietnam, but the Koreans, they don't have walls and all that stuff. All these other countries, they don't have walls because there's a very acute awareness that if I cross over into Russia, they don't need a wall. They're going to shoot me. That's what they're going to do. China, I can't just tiptoe across their border talking about you're going to let me in here because I want a better life. They would shoot me. All of these things. But yet America is supposed to be the strongest country on the planet, but we're too weak to protect our own border. I mean, what's the difference between these people, 4,100 of them coming across versus 4,100 Russians running across the border? I mean, if we can't defend our own borders and stop these people from coming who are illegal immigrants, then what happens when we got 4,100, North Koreans coming across the border? We don't know what to do. We got to wait on Congress to give us, we told them they coming, but they ain't even working with. See, this is the kind of stuff that we need to think about when you vote. Whether you are Democrat, Republican, or whatever, when you see the leaders in your party basically rejecting the request of people who are responsible for implementing the law, that should let you know they're doing it for a reason. They're lawless. There's some other objective and goal in mind when they see an obvious problem like this, but yet for some reason say, I don't see that. I don't know what you're talking about. But wait, sir, the people down there on the border who's actually seeing it is giving you the information. Well, you know why? It's because they're making it up and they're racist and they're being driven by Donald Trump and his wickedness. They're Hitler. That's all they are. They're Hitler. And then they said that at least 60 of these illegal immigrants, my man just started up his monster truck right next to me and now he's just sitting there revving up the engine. I'm like, would you hurry up and get out of here? How long does it take to back up? You start your car up, you back up and get out of there. My man's sitting there probably starting a cigarette and check my messages, back up and get out of here. Anyway, so they said about 60 people a day are going to the hospital. Who do you think's paying for that? Is Nancy Pelosi paying for that? These 60 people a day? What about Chuck Schumer or Alexandria Cortez? What about all those Beta O'Rourke? Is he dropping all that cheese for these 60 people a day that's going into the hospital? No, no, it's all of us. And then they dropped off a whole busload of them just on the streets because we can't hold them anymore after I think like 20 days or something. Where do you think these people are going to go? You know what? If I was Border Patrol, I'd say, okay, load them up, get everybody on the bus. I would Google where Nancy Pelosi lives, Chuck Schumer. I would Google where all of these politicians who's pushing for open borders and aren't changing the immigration laws. I would bus all those people right into their neighborhood. That's where I would drop them off. Right in the middle of Beverly Hills, right in front of Mad Max's house. I would drop them off in the best areas of America, where all the elites who get to sit up there and judge the rest of the people. You guys need to be more compassionate and inclusive and open-minded. If not, you're all racist. I would take them and drop them off right in front of their crib. Thousands of them. There you go. Just go ahead and meander about the neighborhood, take the resources, whatever you want to take. Go inside of the houses and check and make sure that there's something in there to drink. Watch a little TV, set up a tent inside their house, take a nap, get some milk out the refrigerator. Because, see, they're so compassionate and inclusive, I'm sure they won't mind you just coming in illegally into their house and just making yourself at home. All of this going on. And yet, our Democrats are up there going, I don't see what the problem is. Y'all making all this stuff up. They are liars. They're crooks. They're wicked. They're evil. And they're selling out the whole country for only one thing: personal gain and power. The CBP commissioner is begging Congress to help him. And you know what? He said, America doesn't have an open border policy, but basically right now, it's wide open. Broken arrow, okay? Help, Congress. That's what he's saying. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. I'm going to be talking about this tonight, 7:30, live on YouTube, on my radio blog talk show. Broken arrow. We need to keep saying it to them. Broken arrow. If you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. Mel Gibson. I forget the title of it. But anyway, find me on Facebook, Twitter. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. And check out Extreme Tees. The link is in the bottom. If you see something you like, click on it and you'll get a 20% discount. Put my name in the promo code, Kevin. And if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's a link in the bottom. Do that as well. And I think that's about it. All right. God bless you. See you next time at Kevin's Corner. Broken arrow.